This is the Berman Project. Hey, it's JD here, back for another week of introspection and reflection on grief, depression, and the pathway to mental wellness, all the while nourishing my soul with the music and poetry of the late, great indie rock singer-songwriter David Cloud Berman. How are you doing, motherfuckers? I am cold as all living fuck. I'm recording this on Sunday. Yesterday was one of the coldest days I've experienced. Taking the dogs out was absolutely brutal. Today, however, the sky is shining blue. Looking out my window right now, there are no clouds in the sky, but there is some sunshine that is warming it up, and this cold streak is supposed to snap. And we're supposed to get up into the pluses this week, above zero. So there's that. I find that weather is so important to the way I'm feeling, whether or not it's that I get outside more, or even just sitting here at my desk looking out the window into a blue sky rather than a gray abyss. Really, truly does help. I have been told I should be getting a mood light. It's not something that I've thought about very seriously. If you have experience with a mood light, shoot me an email, jd@mediumalchemist.com. I would love to hear about your experiences and if you think it made a difference. I am, other than cold, I'm in a reasonably good place right now. I do think that this new drug, lamotrigine, I believe it's called, is doing something. I don't know if it's doing enough, but it is doing something. I feel different. However, my eyes are leaking all over the place. Now, I don't know if this is related because there are fucking weird side effects with mental health drugs. Lots of stuff dealing with erections and ejaculate, quite frankly. And I don't mean to laugh if you've experienced any of those things. Years ago on Paxil, it took away my sex drive completely, and I couldn't, get it up, as they say in the penis business. So there's that. I think that tomorrow I have therapy, and that's a good thing. It's been several weeks without talking to my therapist, Emma. It was a decision I made early on in the month that I would see her toward the end of the month. I was doing okay. You listen to the episodes. I just thought I could swing it without her, and if it could save me a little bit of money, well, then that would be good too. Now, the funny thing is, I get all the money back. I have benefits, and they cover a good deal of therapy. They cover $5,000 in therapy for a year. So that almost gets me through the year, which is just tremendous, to be able to swing that even without working, is great. So there's that. My hands are tucked up in my sleeves right now. That's how cold I am. My knees are knocking. I have not a window air conditioner. It's a portable air conditioner, and it's permanently set up in the window. So there are some nooks and crannies that are letting air in, and I need to buy some filla, some of that foam filla, and get that shit sealed up, because otherwise it's just too cold in here. I was thinking today, I was watching TikTok, believe it or not. I was looking at TikTok, and one of the videos that came up was, I don't think it was Pearl Jam. I think it was just Eddie Vedder and his band. And they were covering The Cure's Just Like Heaven. And it was so weird to see Eddie Vedder dancing about on the stage in a way that is very un-Eddie Vedder-like. Pearl Jam, I find, are a very serious band. Very, very serious. There's not a lot of jovialness in their music. Maybe Dirty Frank, that might cut it. But to see him doing Just Like Heaven was really fabulous. It was really, really quite tremendous. I enjoyed it a lot. But more than that, it made me realize how much I love Just Like Heaven and how emo I am. Because the connection that I have to that song is very emotional. And I used to think about it a lot when I thought about dating when I wasn't dating. I used to think about having a connection with somebody that I could sing about. And I don't think I've settled. I don't think I've settled one bit. I love my wife. But we have a very different relationship. We have a relationship that is not about singing. And these, obviously there's a deep emotional connection, but it's just different. She doesn't talk music, with me. And it's one of the reasons why I enjoy this medium so much, that I get to just sort of prattle on and sometimes you listen and sometimes you don't. I got a really lovely email early last week, and I can't and I won't read it on the air. It's a little bit personal, but it absolutely fucking made my week. And there's something to that. Again, the emo-ness. It made me cry. I read it and it made me cry. So if you're listening and you're out on one of your hikes, I hope you hear this and I hope you understand that I'm talking about you. And I want to thank you for that email. As I mentioned, I won't read it on the air, but it was lovely. And if you ever do write me and you don't mind it being read on the air, then just say that in the email, and I would be glad to read it on the air. I say on the air because, I'm a fucking broadcaster on the air over here. I feel like Lemmy today. My microphone is really up, and I want to sing Ace of Spades, and I have a big mustache and crazy sideburns. No, but I feel like him because my neck is stretched upward to the microphone, hopefully to achieve, better sound. And my voice is a little scratchy today. I think it's from the fucking cold. So there's that. Speaking of emo, we're going to listen to one of my favorite songs on American Water. 25th anniversary of this fucking spectacular record. It's tough to believe, but this is the Wild Kindness, and if you don't like this song, I don't think we could be friends.
To a wildflower on a classic nitrogen afternoon. Some power that hardly looked like power said I'm perfect in an empty room. 4 dogs in the distance, each stands for a kindness, yeah. Bluebirds lodged in an evergreen altar. I'm gonna shine out in the wild silence. I'm gonna shine out in the wild silence. I'm gonna shine out in the wild silence and spurn the sin of giving in. Oil paintings of X-rated picnics behind the walls of medication. I'm free. Every leaf in a compact mirror hits a target that we can't see. grass grows in the icebox. The year ends in the next room. It is autumn and my camouflage is dying. Instead of time, there will be lateness. Instead of time, there will be lateness. Instead of time, there will be lateness. And let forever be delayed. Dyed my hair in a motel void. Met the coroner at Dreamgate Frontier. He took my hand and said, I'll help you, boy, if you really want to disappear. 4 dogs in the distance, each stands for silence, yeah. Bluebirds lodged in an evergreen altar. I'm gonna shine out in the wild kindness. I'm gonna shine out in the wild kindness. I'm gonna shine out in the wild kindness and hold the world to its word.
Don't step on it, JD. Don't you fucking dare. You let that cymbal ring out. Yeah, that's just a tremendous piece of work. Now, maybe it's because it's a more traditional song. There's verse, chorus, solo, verse, out. Maybe that's why I find myself enjoying it so much, but I really got to say the combination of SM and David Berman vocally, it just works for me. I don't know how else to say it, but it just fucking works. It's so great, and it makes me so disappointed that this is the end of American Water, and we're going to have to wait a whole other record. The next record is great. Don't let me dissuade you from that. But there's no SM on it. And as I mentioned, there's something about the two of them together that just, like, that solo is really great. And that's an SM solo for sure. If I'm wrong, send me a text message, or send me an email rather, jd@meetingmalcolmist.com. Would love to hear from you. And if you allow me, I'll even read it on there. So yeah, we have to wait a whole record before we get some more SM and David Berman. But we'll get right into that next week. We'll get into the next record next week, and we'll be there soon enough. For now, let's go to Self-Portrait at Age 28, Part 5, from the book Actual Air by David Cloud Berman. David Craig Berman, depending on if you're one of his parental units, I suppose, or one of his fans. You can call him what you wish. David, if you're close. Janet, if you're nasty. I don't know. This is Self-Portrait at Age 28, Part 5, from Actual Air by David Berman. Let's go to that now. The hill out my window is still looking beautiful, suffused in a kind of golden national park light, and it seems to say, I'm sorry the world could not possibly use another poem about Orpheus, but I'm available if you're not working on a self-portrait or anything. I'm watching my dogs have nightmares, twitching and whining on the office floor, and I try to imagine what beast has cornered him in the meadow where his dreams are set. I'm just letting the day be what it is, a place for large numbers of things, to gather and interact, not even a place but an occasion, a reality for things. I'm just letting the day be what it is, a place for a large number of things, to gather and interact, not even a place but an occasion, a reality for real things. Friends warned me not to get too psychedelic or religious with this piece. They won't accept it if it's too psychedelic or religious. But these are valid topics, and I'm the one with the dog twitching on the floor, possibly dreaming of me. That part of me would beat a dog for no good reason. No reason that a dog could see. I'm trying to get at something so simple that I have to talk plainly so the words don't disfigure it. And if it turns out that what I say is untrue, then at least let it be harmless, like a leaky boat in the reeds that is bothering no one. That was Self-Portrait at Age 28, Part 5. There's at least one more part left, Part 6. I'm not sure if there's any after that. Let me quickly take a peek here. There's Part 6, and that's the end, Part 6, yeah. And then we go into the third chapter of Actual Air. Somewhere in the middle, I will release the full version of Self-Portrait at Age 28. It'll come out after the 6th part is read. So there's that. I think what we've got here is something that is just marvelous. And I read an interview today on Instagram, and it was with SM, and they were asking him about Berman. It was Secret Knowledge of Back Roads is the Instagram handle. You should check it out. They had an interview with SM about David and connecting with him, and SM expressed regret that he doesn't or didn't reach out more. It was often when he had, a question or something specific to ask David that he would reach out. And then the next question was, is the song Forever 28 about Self-Portrait at Age 28? And that really caught SM off guard. He was like, no, I don't think so. That doesn't ring a bell. But Forever 28 was sort of a riff off the jean store, Forever 21. Yeah. So it's funny where ideas come from, where songs come from. They might come from a little phrase or just some sort of dribble drab of words, and you hear it, and next thing you know, you've got a song. The poetry is more difficult for me to dissect. This is a long one, Self-Portrait at Age 28. I don't know what Berman thinks of these poems. I don't know how long he took to write them. It's a shame he's not here for me to ask. I'm convinced that if we could ask him some questions, and if he knew that this podcast existed and that there was a cohort of people that listened to me fucking prattle on just so they could hear a Berman song and a Berman poem, I think he'd be pleased by that. He always seems surprised to know he had a fan base. And I won't say that I can't relate, because I can, and I do. And you guys are all wonderful. And I thank you for listening. And I want you to stay hungry and stay foolish and wash your goddamn hands. The Berman Project is a production of Douvra Podcasts and Such. You can find out more about the show at www.thebermanproject.xyz. That's right, I'm fucking Canadian. I'm also social. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, and all the rest at Berman Project. podcasts and such.